You're listening to DraftKings Network.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
It is nice to be back. I missed you guys.
Hello.
I legitimately missed you guys. I missed the always joyous face of one Roy Bellamy. Roy Bellamy's Panthers play at the Bruins tonight. We'll get to that in a second.
The Bees.
No, that's...
Well, which is it? Which is it? Is
The Bees.
Is it the Bees or the Brew Crew? Which is it? Because
the Big Bad Bruins.
I don't understand why Brew Crew just
BRU,
made an
Brew Crew,
appearance.
yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, welcome back.
Did you guys play all?
You missed us, huh?
Did you
Not
guys
for long.
Did you guys play? It's like going to Vegas. You're all excited getting back, and then 3 minutes in, you know that hotel looks like it's right there, but you got to walk 7 miles in 110-degree heat. But yes, I'm about over it.
Wait until you get to the Big Suey. I mean,
Billy, did you do FIU football again, and were you again down 21-0 in the first quarter?
Yes and yes. I did do FIU again last week, Jacksonville State, coached by Rich Rodriguez, which was a surprise to me.
what?
What a fall. What a fall was
Rich
right, but
Rod.
I didn't want to say that.
How much of that has
air.
that's not happened to Jessica, but how much of that is happening to you guys every week where you tune in somewhere and you see, oh, look at there, Al Golden's the Notre Dame guy.
Can we find a sadder fall than Rich Rodriguez, though? That's going to be tough to beat.
Oh, I think we can. I think we can.
Put on spring football once.
Where's Butch Jones?
Oh, good question.
Is it Arkansas State or something?
He did cry in their season opener.
He lost 73-0 in their season opener.
Yeah, but who are they playing? That was probably a payday, right?
Well, but still, he was crying on the sideline because of how far he had fallen. And I think he was on his knees, and it's a guy who had previously fallen. Didn't he tear his Achilles while shaking hands after a game one time?
It was recently announced that Todd Haley will not return as head coach of the Memphis Showboats.
It is Arkansas State,
because
though.
he's coming back to the Steelers? Hell yeah.
I know that Jim Tom Sula won a European football championship.
Oh, stop it.
When undefeated.
What?
Yes, in Germany.
Like Shula?
Yes, Tom Sula.
How's this? Brady
Tom
Hope
Shula.
is the head coach of San Diego State. They're
Again?
in 9th place in the Mountain West.
But he's back.
Look how pleased Stugotz is with Tom Shula. He's now calling the undefeated, was it the Rhine Fire? The undefeated Tom Sula.
Everyone's head, it flew right over, Chris. Thank
Chris
you.
Cody, he came back to it because he's like, that's a good joke. He knew it was a good joke. And he's like, no, you guys didn't acknowledge it the first time.
I thought he was just slurring or something.
No, he came back the second time because, God damn it, listen to me. I had the floor to myself last week. I could be hurt. Tom Shula.
Rough season for the Red Wolves. 4-4 in the Fun Belt
Yeah.
West. Yeah.
Right.
They lost to Oklahoma 73-0. That's understandable, right?
No.
All right, put it on the poll, please, Juju at Batard Show. Greater fall from grace, Rich Rodriguez or Butch Jones? Since you insist on arguing about this.
Oh, wow. I was wrong. He had a very rough 2022 also. They went like 3-8, not good. That's what he did 2021.
Forgive me, Billy.
Hey.
Can we merge?
Bad 2021 too. Butch Loans is not long for the Red Wolves.
Jones.
What did I say?
No, the last name
Loans.
deserves to start with an L.
Yeah, sorry.
And Jacksonville State is good.
No, this is Arkansas State.
I was going back to the poll
Yeah,
question.
it's been a long day.
Yeah.
Mondays are rough.
It's been a long day. We just started. We're 3
You guys
minutes into
bust
the
that
show.
out early. They bust that out early.
Well, this is what's happening around here, and people don't understand what's happening around here, and I don't blame them. It'll become more obvious in the next couple of months why we were in Hollywood and what it is that we're doing. But Billy and Stugotz have already done God Bless Football. It should be out. Stugotz will tell you what the top 5 quarterbacks are who should be traded to the Minnesota Vikings.
Just top 5 guys. That might be the next Vikings quarterback. That's all.
Well, I kind of want that list.
That's a good list.
Yes.
I heard it, you don't.
Well, this is what happened before the show.
Thanks, Billy.
I just asked Billy before we started, and this is why Billy's already tired. Because I said, what don't we cover? Because it's been covered on God Bless Football. And he's like, please, dear God, do not cover who's being traded to the Minnesota Vikings. And Chris Cody waddles over and is like, I'd kind of like to know.
So Ryan Tannehill?
Number 3.
Well, we'll talk about quarterback evaluation in a second because it appears that Vrabel is kind of afflicted with the same thing Belichick was. where he doesn't know how to evaluate quarterbacks. And so he plays Drew Bledsoe, and then Drew Bledsoe has to get hurt, and then he plays Tom Brady. And Will Levis did something yesterday. All of a sudden, all of us was like, did all of us not have the same reaction of, really? DeAndre Hopkins can still get down the entire field? How were they playing football before this?
I had that reaction. I also had the reaction, wow, Will Levis is a Titan, and he's good.
Well, he was third on the depth chart prior to that start. He did not look good in the preseason. That was pretty shocking.
Yes.
And why was Malik Willis not playing in that game?
I guess they have a new GM over there in Rand Corathon who basically took Will Levis because you look at the draft board and the value. Remember, he slid quite a bit.
Second round, Mike.
It's not punitive to take a shot at a quarterback, but Will Levis did not impress. Malik Willis, I think earlier this season, was getting the backup action over there, and Will Levis comes in with a shock start and makes everybody look stupid.
Well, it looked Herberty, right? Just drop back and throw the ball 50 yards.
Yes.
Big statuesque guy back there. And we were all like, whoa, where did all that come from? Tennessee's been constipated for 7 games. Like, that offense isn't going anywhere because it's just Derrick Henry in a phone booth. It's just slants, and they really miss A.J. Brown because it appears he's kind of good.
Yeah.
Dan, I saw on Sunday Night Live yesterday with Tony and Juju that you were on that, and I saw Tony with one of the worst takes I've ever heard, that Will Levis looked like Dan Marino. How did you not eviscerate him?
Thank you, Billy. I was trying to support what Tony and Juju were doing over there, unlike you, who loves to undercut. It's the first thing he said, and I wanted to break into programming and scream at him, but I was there. There to support.
Little yes and.
You can't support that, though. I mean, everyone has a line.
No, because he's trying to learn how to...
Yeah, but it's like teaching your kids to drive. You can't let them crash the car.
Well,
until you're about to get to the wall, and then you're like, let me hit the brakes here. You know what I mean?
They are both 6'4".
This is what's happening around here, and why it is that I allowed it with Tony, even though he's clearly overreacting. You understand that he's learning at the Stugotz trough. The next evolution of the take master has to take the take where the take hasn't been taken. And so what do? One start, he looks like Marino. And then we'll pull it back after that. We'll go 4
TDs, and again, 6'4", does kind of look like Marino.
What I meant is he's better than Dan Marino, Dan. Like, why didn't you kind of push the gas on it?
Yeah.
I have to acknowledge at this point, Billy might be right. This is why I have to acknowledge it, because they are seeing sports through a different prism, he and Mike, as adults with children, and they see things quicker than I do sometimes. And this happened the other day with Jalen Ramsey, because Jalen Ramsey objected. He was furious. Adam Schefter reported that Jalen Ramsey planned to make his return Sunday from a knee injury from this summer, a month early, Stugotz. And Jalen Ramsey would have what should have been a pick six, might have been a pick six from a healthier Jalen Ramsey.
Right. Went the wrong way.
Yes, he did go the wrong way. Easy for us to say. We're not out there. But yes, he did go the wrong way. And if it had been me or Stugotz, it would have been a pick six. But he's coming off an injury, and so it was not. But Jalen Ramsey got legitimately pissed, it seemed like, at Adam Schefter's report, saying, so this is why I just got a crazy amount of texts. Well, this is news to me that I'm starting on Sunday. MFers don't care about being right. They care about being first in today's media. That's sad. And immediately as that landed, Stugotz, what are your thoughts to just that? What are your thoughts to what Jalen Ramsey's reaction was?
I think it's a weird thing for Jalen Ramsey to be concerned about, to be honest with you. Like, who cares what the media is saying, and who cares if they're saying you're starting? I'll
tell you why someone cares. Mike Ryan immediately texted me. He's objecting this way. It's not about who's first or who's right or what's sad. Mike Ryan, Jalen Ramsey left Jacksonville coming in after a holdout or whatever, and he left and joined the team out of a Brinks truck, Stugotz. He was making a music video. Then he goes to the Rams, wins a championship. Like, he's been at the top of this sport.
Yes.
And he's coming to Miami, not unlike Tyreek Hill, Stugotz, as a brand. His JR, his initials together to form a football, it's sleek. He's coming from Los Angeles, and he's a star. And Mike Ryan texted me, I bet you that he's objecting to this because he's got some lame video he wants to put out on Instagram to signal his arrival, and he's mad at Adam Schefter because he undermined the release of his video. Lo and behold, look what happens a couple days later.
unfortunately, on Jalen Ramsey. This is a very hard thing to return to play from.
Lord knows I'm 50 rich. All inside of life 50 bricks. Remember, I pray really, I wish for this. Thinking the crib with the maid and with the picket fence. I was a nigga that mad, we took a risk for this. Sometimes I know that I repent for this. But Lord knows if I get pinned for this, I probably won't get home until I'm 56. They say, I don't know why they be guessing these suckers for I am not feeling that shit. Different between me and most of these rappers. I'm talking about work that I really put in. Talking about pistols I put on my hip. And I'm talking about fires I really could.
It's just a high bar is all. And people have no idea how hard it is to recover and return. I think it's a tall order for Jalen Ramsey to come back and be Jalen Ramsey.
Little over the top, you said to me, Chris Cody. You said you say goosies, you asshole.
Right.
You asshole. Why would you say?
No. There was a roller coaster there. The very beginning, goosies.
Right.
About 40 seconds in, I'm like, all right, this is a bit
little
much.
too much. Right.
Like the music,
Was it the Rocky music?
It's the Rocky
Operatic.
music. Yeah. Why was he getting a haircut?
That's a great question.
The other stuff kind of made sense with the haircut. I was like,
he's getting ready.
He's coming back.
He's getting ready.
Right. Want to look nice when you come back, you know?
Jessica, what's happening there between him and Schefter? Like, is it that crass? Is it that brazen? I want to announce my return via music video. Schefter, quit undermining me.
It was very silly because I read his quote sheet and I was like, wow, this is a bad look for Adam Schefter. And then I saw that he was active and I was like, okay, I'm the idiot here, actually.
It's just that being the go-to. Considering where we are and everyone feels like they can just take shots at the media, Adam Schefter is pretty reputable when it comes to these things. And when you damn well know it's true because you've already shot your hype video, it's just a terrible look. And it's all that for that. You know, it's dumb where we are.
It would have been really funny if Schefter just tweeted out the video.
And
That would have been great.
Who's not watching that video? Like, if you're a fan of the Dolphins, you're still going to check out the video. It's not like, I already knew it from Schefter. Can't watch the video.
Right. Just stay quiet. Just stay quiet instead of do the whole fake news bit. That's all tired and all that. Hey, everybody. Happy football season. It's Mike, and let me tell you what I do from kickoff to the final whistle. I have a Miller Lite in my hand. I just don't go wrong with it. I learned from experience. There is only one light beer worthy of our national obsession, because what's the point of having a beer if it doesn't taste like beer? You don't want to spend any time while you're watching football thinking about what you're drinking. And with the dependable flavor of Miller Lite, you know you don't have to worry about it because it's only got 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12-ounce serving. With a smooth taste and a crisp, clean finish, you'll get all the taste that you crave without the calories. A light, less filling beer that tastes great in football, there's just no topping that, folks. At least not for me. This season, do what I do. Crack open a light beer that hits your taste buds so hard, you feel it in your heart. Make it Miller time all football season long. Get Miller Lite delivered right to your door. Visit MillerLite.com/Dan, or you can find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Dan Batard.
could I interest any of you in an opportunity to make money? Yes. Where I buy some calling cards and I sell them to you. And then you get 3 friends. And then you're making money off the ones they sell. Amila.
Stugotz.
And he's saying Twitter.
The more friends, the more you make, friends. Amila.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz.
I'm going to stop you here just because this Dolphin team is the most exciting of this century. And they're interesting. They're going to play a Chiefs team with a evidently very sick Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
We're going to allow him that sick to fly back and forth.
That's convenient.
That's a good idea by you. You know
It
what?
is Germany.
He should stay back.
I mean,
Safety first.
But funny hearing people in Florida be like, oh, he should stay home. He's sick.
Yeah. It's not just about him. It's about others.
It is crazy that the Chiefs and the Dolphins are going to be playing at 6:30 on the West Coast. Los Angeles at 6:30 is going to be getting.
Not so good now, huh?
No,
Wes, I was so happy last week. This was great.
I like those games early. I felt so less slothy at late at night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Waking up early, I think, adds to the experience of a big game feel.
And
I
a
like
Europe
that.
game. It's like getting up for soccer or for F1.
I like that. And And
you like this game being played at 9:30 in the morning? I hate that.
Have you seen the Week 9 slate? You have a monster national game in every television window. If you put in a bunch of teams in a bucket and ask AI to generate what's the most exciting matchup right now, they may come back with Chiefs and Dolphins, and you're starting your Sunday morning with it, and you're ending your Sunday with Bills at Bengals. It's just a crazy week, especially when you compare that to this week, which was just garbage.
I'm over Europe.
Oh.
In general.
Wow.
As a continent.
All of it?
Yeah, it's just
Wow.
What do you mean?
I'm just over it. And why did they get our best football game?
Yeah.
They didn't know that the Dolphins were going to be this.
They knew that this was going to be a big game. It's Tyreek Hill's revenge game. They knew this was a big game.
They want to come out with a bang in Germany.
Why? The NFL's never going to take off in Germany. I'm just going to say it right now. Wasting time. They're wasting time in Germany.
I think they sold the game out in like 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's great. One game. Wow.
No,
Waste of time.
I'm talking about last year's game,
right?
Which was the Bucks in town.
Yeah.
They sold that one out, and there was a crazy appetite for it.
Put a team there. See how many times people go to watch American football in Germany.
they're gonna
You can
do
just
it.
promote Jim Tom Shula's team over there.
There you go, my guy.
They are going to go global with
They
this.
are not.
They're going to try. I mean,
They're gonna
London,
fail.
London Super Bowl. Okay.
A London Super Bowl.
And London should never get a Super Bowl.
Ridiculous.
Mark my words on that.
Yeah.
The day that London gets a Super Bowl is the day that Americans should stop watching football and see if Roger Goodell continues to around with us.
He's right.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Preach.
We've gone too far. The Super Bowl? We're going to have to wake up and watch it at 6 a.m.? Get the hell out of here.
Very myopic.
Out of here.
I think they started at like 3:30.
Well, then why can't they all start at 3:30? If all of a sudden the Super Bowl can start at 3:30, why can't every game start at 3:30 so everyone can watch it?
Keep in mind
So sick of these 9 a.m. games in Europe.
Nine-
For what?
Super Bowl
what
should
are
be
we
on,
doing?
Super Bowl should be on a Saturday.
The 9 a.m. The 9
It may
a.m.
be on a Saturday there because of the whole time
Right.
zone thing. I don't even know.
We'll discuss that another
Should have it
time.
in Australia
They-
then.
no.
The 9 a.m. games are new. It's just like a couple. They've been playing for how long over in London, and those games would always start at 1 o'clock. It'd be a primetime game in London.
You know
they're
how I know-
experimenting with these all-day TV windows.
You know how I know it's not going to work?
How?
NFL Europe. Boom. Caso cerrado.
No, the Rhine Fire is a 2-time World Bowl champion.
A what?
They're in Germany. The Rhine Fire.
And they're back. led
they're
by
back.
And
Jim
Greg's
Tom
Lobos
Shula.
is a 7-time Greg's Lobo Bowl champion. Who cares?
Just deflect.
I need to leave for 2 weeks more often so that Billy comes out of the gate like that. I need to go more.
You agree, though,
I
right?
need to go more on trips. No, I don't.
Billy, you just sound scared. You just sound like you're already making excuses for the Dolphins.
Oh, I'm terrified.
Well,
I don't think they're going to travel well.
Well, the Chiefs look
Off a loss?
The Chiefs looked so bad.
I know. Revenge game for the Chiefs.
Well,
Disaster.
I want to do this
Bounce
part.
back game.
I want to do this part for a second, though, because that is a fun game, and Tyreek Hill, Stugotz, is having, the best start to a season from a receiver that we've ever seen.
He's the MVP of the league.
Maybe.
Dan, I can't imagine what the Dolphins' record would be without
but
Tyreek Hill.
AJ Brown has been just as good.
He's been great.
And their team is better because the Eagles are kind of like Georgia in college football, where you're like, something's a note off. Something's a note off. Oh, they don't lose.
It could be because they also drafted all Georgia players.
They lost to the Jets.
Yeah, I know, but that's their only loss, and we'll get to that game in a second because
yeah.
that
Big W.
that was a suffering. I did not want that game to go into overtime just because I did not want to have those two teams play any more shit football. But I want to get back to the point that Mike and the general objection of the room to what Jalen Ramsey is doing. And I will tell you again, Stugotz, I understand LA doesn't care about sports, or we think it doesn't, but Jalen Ramsey won a championship there and went there to become a bigger star, stifled by Jacksonville, goes and becomes a champion, and was a part of weekly matchups. We don't do this a lot anymore, where we were talking about Jalen Ramsey on this guy.
I think I'm the only person in this room that took objection to what Jalen Ramsey was doing. No one cares. The media is such easy fodder and such an easy mark for Jalen. No one's going to be like, Jalen Ramsey, we're holding you accountable for lying about that Adam Schefter thing. No one cares. The media is a bad guy as always. My whole thing is, Jalen Ramsey, you're not helping with that. Just stay quiet if it's all about your video.
But this is why, though, I would argue he doesn't have to stay quiet, and it's part of what I've seen that's been so fascinating to me with this Dolphin team. there are a couple guys on it who really want to be stars. And Hard Knocks is coming to town, and the Miami Dolphins have been a regional team for 25 years, Stugotz. For legitimately 20 years, they've been a regional team. And now they're a story in sports because everyone sees. They can see, look how fast that team is. Look how creative it is. Look how relaxed their coach is. Their coach is a little strange. This is not a normal football coach, and what you're seeing from his schemes looks even better by a good amount than what's happening in San Francisco because the quarterback gets rid of the ball so fast that they've created something in their organization, Stugotz, to kind of protect the economy. How do we get to a not hurt? Throw everything in 2 seconds.
Yes.
Everything gets thrown in 2 seconds so that even your offensive linemen, they're all out. You can't run the ball at all. He's still not getting pummeled because he gets rid of everything so fast.
They're incredible. They're fun to watch. They score 35 points in a day where not everything is clicking. Not everyone is healthy. If they get home field advantage, I think they'll win the Super Bowl. I really do. I think they'll make it to the Super Bowl because I believe that team is unbeatable at home. But I don't care about the Jalen Ramsey stuff. Dan, it is so absurd to ask Adam Schefter not to do his job so you can present your video. To me, that's ridiculous. It's meaningless.
It's all ridiculous. My only point is that Jalen Ramsey has half a season to make himself a star. He started yesterday with an important interception that might have been.
But that's what makes you a star. Do stuff on the field, win games.
No, Stugotz. That's not true. Go ahead and name all the Eagles corners. Go ahead and name all of the Chiefs corners. Go ahead and name that's not.
Yeah, but you're asking Stugotz.
Right.
Big play Slay has solid branding.
Safety?
Correct. But Jalen Ramsey doesn't want to be out for 6 weeks and fall behind in stardom and name power to big play Slay because he can't play in the game. That's the pressure that's on these guys.
I get all that. Just stop fake newsing the media. When you already shot your entire music video.
It's so good, though.
And it's also Schefter that you're going after?
Right.
But you're objecting to it, and I can't help but find funny the idea that Jalen Ramsey wouldn't want the news, quote-unquote news, of his return released in any other way than with a heroic video that includes Rocky music at the end.
If you've been paying attention to Jalen Ramsey, you knew, it's why I texted you. You could see this coming from a mile away. That his agent, all his clients do this stuff. It's just kind of lame when you preface it like that. And it was a cool video, especially when it crescendos to the Rocky stuff. Remember his hype video for when he got traded to the Miami Dolphins? That was also kind of cool. I just don't like the whole preface of, you're lying. No, this is news to me. The media is always out to get me. It's stupid.
Do you think he did an email to the whole organization? Who told him? Who did it? That's who we should really be mad at here.
I'm going to pay the Dolphins. I'm going to pay the Dolphins the greatest compliment I have paid them in 23 years. This is the greatest compliment I can pay this team that I am presently watching. They have gotten me to watch commercials. I leave the red zone because I want to see what is happening, and that they have pulled me away from the red zone, which is just instant crack for 7 hours somehow. I don't know how. I do not know how they sustain. 9 games in one window. I want to sleep during the late games. What do you mean Mahomes is losing? I'm tired. I'm jet lagged. I'm sad. Let me sleep during the 3-4 o'clock games.
Do you ever do the thing where you're watching the Dolphins game and you're like, it's a commercial. Gonna go over to the red zone for a few minutes. Dangerous game.
Right.
Then you just get lost, and then it's
You might
been
never
10
go
minutes.
back, yeah.
And it's like, damn it, I missed half the Dolphins quarter.
And then they
Happens
show
all the
up on
time.
red zone,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh no!
I'm an idiot.
How did they get in the red zone?
And sometimes red zone's ahead somehow. How is this happening?
And sometimes 10 minutes behind, inexplicably. You never know.
Give us your answers, Hanson.
Is it the future? Is it the past? I don't know. It's not the present.
It's one of the things that's happened is I used to be able to go back and forth with my TiVo remote, and the YouTube remote makes it harder.
TiVo.
I know.
TiVo.
I know it's funny.
I love TiVo.
I know it's funny, but I used to be able to slow down plays, and YouTube makes that harder. It does. I told you something was going to change about my viewing experience.
I learned that TiVo has a patent on all DVRs. That when DirecTV came out with their own brand, they still had to pay TiVo.
I miss it.
You learn something new every day.
I miss it, and you make fun of me, but the way I used to watch the games is I could slow everything down. I didn't have
mute
to
and slow.
Yes,
Watch an offensive line play.
That's
You
right.
still
Like you're
can-
watching in the Matrix.
You can still do it. I realize
hard.
what you're saying. It's much harder on
The
YouTube.
toggle's harder.
Right. No, you're right.
The toggle
I
is
noticed
harder.
that. I've thrown it at times.
It is harder.
In this room, I'd say you, Dan, and Chris Cody and Roy are the most passionate of Dolphin supporters. Have you guys gotten accustomed to owning Bill Belichick? Because that's wild. 2 is 6-0 against Bill Belichick, considering what the last 20-plus years had been of Dolphins fandom, where it was always a guaranteed loss outside of a miraculous primetime home game where you catch them sleeping once
That's
in
it.
a while.
Yeah, that's it. Dolphins home games. That's the only time that I can actually get used to it.
It's so good. Yesterday, the first good thing was he mouthed, "That's bullshit." That's good to see, and you don't think you're gonna get better than that. And then later in the game, did you guys see this? He fumbled papers and dropped them. Did you see it? He grabbed it from his back pocket and he dropped it, and he had to bend over and get it. I'm like,
He's bubbling.
It was so good.
You've been scared of him for 20 years.
He's dropping papers, reaching for a challenge flag where he can't even challenge it. Oh, it was great.
He's been a monster. Like, people will dress as him throughout South Florida tomorrow because he's been such a haunting person. But you don't have Brady anymore, do you, Big Bill? And now you drop your papers.
Pulling papers out. Where's Brady? Brady's not in here.
Can't find the challenge flag.
It's usually in the stock.
You're gonna
Where are the socks?
Yeah, Bill, you're gonna do it with Devontae Parker, are you? Yeah, go ahead. Him and Gesicki. Go ahead. Let's see it.
But for the life of me, I don't understand Bill Belichick owning this team for 2 decades and being like, Devontae Parker and Gesicki, give me those guys.
No, you did it with Welker. Belichick, you've been robbing us since Welker.
No, you did it with Brady.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
2 is 6-0 against him.
Sometimes it's super tough to fit working out into your fall schedule. Between back to school, work obligations, family, and the return of football, fitness often falls down your priority list as a result. But your fitness shouldn't fall into that trap, especially if you're spending your hard-earned dollars on it. Enter the Peloton app. Motivation that moves you, hooks you, and works for a variety of budgets. At Peloton, your routine should never feel routine. Flip the script this fall by tapping into Peloton's endless variety of exercise options with Peloton Bike and Bike Plus. From intervals to club banger rides, your workouts can go from can't face to can't wait. Plus, Peloton's not just a class, it's a fitness entertainment mashup that'll have you whooping along at the top of your lungs and telling your friends afterwards. Plus, it really works. 90% of Peloton households that join at the start of the year are still active 12 months later. Unsure? We've got you. Try Peloton Bike or Bike Plus free for 30 days. Not for you? Return it for a full refund. Find your zone with a 30-day worry-free home trial of Peloton bikes. Visit onepeloton.com/home-trial.
Today's episode of the Dan Batard Show with Stugotz is brought to you by Venmo. Look, no matter how your favorite team does this season, there's still one way to feel like a winner, unless you're a Jets fan, and that's with Venmo. That's because when you use Venmo to add $100 or more to your DraftKings account, you'll get an extra $25 in DraftKings bonus credits. Just go to DraftKings.com/Venmo offer to activate your offer. Then choose Venmo to add funds to your DraftKings account, add $100 or more, and boom! 25 credits will appear in your DraftKings account if you're eligible. This offer is only good through November 30th, 2023, or while supplies last. So make your move before the shot clock runs out. Here's the deal. Venmo is a fast and easy way to add money to DraftKings. And if you don't have a Venmo account, don't sweat it. Signing up in the app is super simple. So what are you waiting for? Just add $100 or more to your DraftKings account with Venmo and you'll get $25 in bonus credits. Go to DraftKings.com/Venmo offer and go get that bonus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Eligibility and age restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. Valid 1 per first-time Venmo account transfer. Opt-in required. Minimum $100 transfer for your Venmo account to your DraftKings DFS account. $25 bonus issued as DK dollars that require a one-time playthrough before withdrawal. See terms at DraftKings.com/Venmo offer.
Dan Batard.
Common thread was Stugotz chumming it up with Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. I met my quarterback.
Yeah, as you know. Stugotz didn't talk to Aaron Rodgers.
Nope.
Stugotz thought country music superstar Jake Owen was Aaron Rodgers. They had a 20-minute conversation.
Identical twins. I mean, Jesus.
Stugotz.
Listen, I will never have the relationship with Aaron Rodgers that I have with the guy that I thought was Aaron Rodgers.
So the way that
I mean, that is the greatest conversation I've ever had with my quarterback.
This is the Dan Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Roy, give me what you've got, because it's hard for hockey to get in here on a football Monday, but you've got an exciting one tonight with the Panthers going to Boston.
Dan, Roy has a hockey show now. Yeah. I don't know if you're aware of that.
I was not aware. I saw something pop up on YouTube.
Well,
it was Roy after the game. Yeah, I don't know a lot of things I'm paying for here. I don't know what they pay for. I don't. So thank you, Billy, for all your support.
You got this one for free, Dan.
Look at that.
Well, you do go to the games.
And someone's paid.
Just not you. Go to the games.
I'm paying for gas.
You're on salary. Like I don't.
You should expense gas.
Expense the gas.
That's a good idea.
You should expense the gas. Mm-hmm. Everything should be expensed there. It's our money.
Don't give me any ideas, Dan.
I will.
I'm just saying.
Wait, all gas can be expensed?
You can't expense his gas.
If you're going to work, I think if you're going
Someone
to work.
has
Dan, I don't think.
Well, now that he has his show, he can.
Not if you're coming in and out of work.
Let's get this clarified. We can expense gas, yes or no?
You can expense jet fuel every time you fly.
I was of the opinion, I'm assuming that when you guys fly on trips, the company pays for the flights, do they not?
But cars,
not
yes,
also
no.
to gas.
This is binding.
Rental cars, I would assume so, yes.
I thought you meant the daily gas. I was about to be like, yo.
Yeah.
You thought that driving into work, that is the general.
You just said that.
It's a long drive, man.
I would say
Some places do that.
They do?
Some places.
Oh, yeah. Or you get like a pre-tax benefit.
Yeah, progressive.
Like
when did that start? When did it start?
I know when it can start here.
Well, hold on.
Just now when you said it.
I
and
do
want
to be a progressive company, so let's talk this out.
Well,
for
we're
a second.
behind.
Okay.
I don't think we're behind yet. I think we're still
I
ahead.
got 3 years of gas receipts.
I've been saving.
No, you don't.
I've been tracking my miles.
They're all in your Venmo account.
Stugotz wanted me and him to dole out the money. That's what he wanted originally with this business. That's how that would have gone.
Just throw it everywhere.
Here's an idea. Just give us like a cash credit every month for our commutes. And like maybe $500 a person.
You guys are alleging.
What happens when we talk hockey?
Yeah.
If we all get a ramp card, just, everyone honor system.
You guys are alleging that there are companies out there that are now paying, and I'd like to know when this started.
Oh, I'm not alleging. I know this.
That are now paying for their employees to simply drive into the office, to drive into the headquarters.
Yeah, this is not as foreign as it may seem.
When did that start?
Years ago.
Or you can buy us all cars.
Wow.
I'll take that.
But you got to pay for the gas on those too.
I'll take a $50,000 credit. Wow, and I'll spend it on a car. Wink, wink.
Could you imagine if Dan gave you a $50,000 Chevron card? You'd be so pissed. I mean, it'd be great, but you'd be like, how the hell am I going to spend $50,000 in gas? And it'd be like 2 tanks.
Some heaters.
My Metro Rail card is up in 2 days, just so you know.
Ooh, wow.
I would be standing at the Shell station offering to buy gas for everyone, and they could just Venmo me back, Billy, to answer your question.
I believe all of you have learned in whatever it is the management or the mismanagement of this company is that if I were in charge of the money, everything would be a yes. Sure, pay for everybody's trains and planes and cars.
Thank you, Dan.
Can we vote who's in charge?
I'm not in charge.
I vote for Dan.
I vote you.
I vote you, Dan.
I second that.
Thank you, guys.
Binding.
Fourth.
Not binding. I'm not in charge of the money.
Kulikov has as many points as Jonathan Huberdeau.
What?
Yeah, Roy has a hockey show.
Roy, so you have a hockey show that I just learned about. Billy, can you please endorse it? Can you tell people why they should be listening to it since you know so much about it?
It's just a great listen after the game. Roy has David Dwork on with him, breaking down everything that happened on the ice.
Thank you, Billy. I appreciate that endorsement.
But it's just for the Panthers or national in scope?
No, we have a post-game show after the game, and we are trying this out. We have a weekly hockey show that goes on every Friday during the post-game. So, please listen, please. I beg of you, please. It's hockey. Please listen. Like my sport, please.
Like my sport.
You need to play it like hard to get, Roy. You can't be like super desperate here. You got to.
I'm super desperate. It's hockey.
Oh. I saw Nickelback was performing at a hockey game.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I'm super desperate. Nickelback.
If you were tuned in to Bears Chargers, you got problems because the Heritage Classic had Nickelback playing the second intermission.
Never made it as it was, man.
Look at his post-game show.
Go ahead. You guys should do right there. That should be the imaging for the start of the
Roy Bellamy and David Dwork.
Yes. You should never do that again.
Oh, man.
The Roy Bellamy and David Dwork hockey Post-game.
Extravaganza.
Extravaganza.
Bit of a mouthful.
What about the preview?
Just
The
post.
pregame show?
Just the
No.
post.
Right now, we've got the
Yeah,
game
that's
tonight.
No,
extra.
that you have to pay for.
There's a big game tonight is what Dan's trying to get around to. It's
Right.
Panthers at Boston.
He wants you to set
Roy,
the scene,
yeah,
Roy.
hold on,
crew.
hold
Right.
on, hold on. Let me just understand what just happened here, because Roy, you're going to go to the penalty box in a second.
You gotta
Really?
pay for that one, Dan.
No, you definitely have to pay for that one.
2 minutes for starting a podcast you don't pay for.
Roy,
huh?
Roy, go ahead and leave. Just leave right now.
Wow.
Just leave. Go sit in the penalty box.
Unbelievable.
No, just go, because you came in here with that
I'm
same.
not going to fight you.
No, you're not going to fight me.
Imagine if he did, though. This ended in fisticuffs.
He used to have an anger problem. He used to throw chairs around here. Roy, get out.
I'm throwing 10s on that.
Just pull your shirt over your head. That would actually look funny.
Go. Somebody feel free to pull his shirt over his head.
No, I meant you. Like he just walks in there.
I'm on
your
it.
shirt over your head.
No, I think, Roy, this is what just happened
Drops
here.
the gloves.
This is what just happened. It embarrasses me that Roy has learned so little in 20 years doing this. I mean,
he looks like he picked up a new hockey show.
listen,
exactly.
that I just found out about, and so I'm
You
trying.
did also pay for him to go to Roberto Luongo's induction.
I mean, I don't have a hockey show. I want one.
God bless hockey.
God bless hockey.
Go ahead. Have
God
at
bless
it.
puck.
Have at it. God bless puck whenever you want.
The brand is strong.
You paying for gas?
I want the audience to see and know what just happened there. He's been with us for 20 goddamn years.
Yeah.
Hey, there's your big chance to promote your show. You get one. You get one. Mm-hmm. You beg first to have people listen to it.
All right.
And then you tell me when I ask you, Bruins, Panthers tonight, preview it, that you've got to pay for. What do I have to pay for? How little you're giving me in this segment to preview that game when hockey is your expertise and hockey is your show? How has he learned so little about how to do this? The David Dwork and Roy Bellamy. It better be Dwork first. Roy Bellamy postgame show. Go check it out because Roy begs you to.
It's got a great name called
Yeah.
After the Game with Roy.
It's right on the nose.
So good.
There's no confusion as to what it is.
Keep my post-game show out your mouth.
I mean, come on, Roy.
None of your goddamn
Because
post
it's after the game, Dan.
Yeah.
Somebody help him.
after the game.
Somebody help him.
I love that.
I love it. I love it. Keep it.
Straightforward. You know
Yeah.
exactly what you're going to get.
Yes.
No frills.
But then Dave Dwork appears.
Who's leading that show? Is it Roy?
Roy.
Is it Dwork?
Roy opens it and then tosses it to David.
I think
Yes.
Dwork needs to start leading. I think
Well, you'll
I
have to
think-
start paying.
I think I'm not paying Dwork.
that one you do
Stop
that for
saying
free.
his name.
Pony up, man.
That
Are we paying Dwork?
No.
Well, these dwarks.
Oh. The Bruins are off to a better start than last
The
season.
Brew Crew.
They set the record for points in the regular season last year, and they're off to a better start.
And I think, I'm not sure about this, that Mike Ryan was made happier watching the broken look on Mike Scherr's face about the Boston Bruins than even the Boston Celtics. Because in the frenzy that was the last postseason, and the Dolphins appear to be headed toward one that's going to be pretty fun, in the frenzy, I don't think it got lost how fun all that hockey was, but there has been very few experiences in the history of South Florida that measure out taking Boston out in two sports that way. And taking Boston out on something they care about that way. It's not just beating them, but it's like the cruelest way possible where, Boston fans are staggering into the street for 2 weeks with a hole in their stomach because they can't believe that a record-breaking Bruins team, best regular season team of all time, would suffer the greatest upset in the sport's history or up there.
It was a 3-1 collapse, too, to an 8-seed team that needed help getting in the postseason. The NHL playoffs are great because in other sports, if you back into the playoffs as an 8-seed, you
Right.
really don't have a shot. Historically, you always have a shot. and
Although the
that's-
Heat just did it at
Yeah.
the same time as the Panthers, which made it so magical.
Yeah, we're
right?
in a pretty unprecedented time when you look over the last 30 years in the NBA. These last 4 years would suggest that there's actually parity coming to the sport. But, I mean, the jury's still out. We've always known that about hockey. But for the Panthers as an 8 seed to win after trailing 3-1, even though you can classify it as, well, sometimes hockey happens, that's still pretty wild. That being said, The Eastern Conference was amazing last year, and I just provided the example that the 8 team made it to the Stanley Cup because they were so good. It's even better this year. They're going to be really good teams that could put a scare in you, maybe make a run if they get hot to the championship, that are going to be shut out of the hockey playoffs this year. It might be the Panthers because they're off to another kind of slow start. I think they're navigating these injuries well. The encouraging news is that Ekblad and Montour returned to the ice and practicing, and it looks like a Thanksgiving rejoining of the team for both of those players, which is excellent.
Mike mentioned injuries, Stugotz, and I want to get to it in the next segment. Something funny that happened with my wife yesterday while she listened to 90 seconds of football and was just horrified by the casual commentary of, like, in the 90 seconds, it's going across screens on the Red Zone channel where I'm trying to avoid this stuff, 3 mentions in 3 different games about concussions. And my wife's like, is that normal? And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty normal now. Yep, every game.
No one got carted off. So
yeah, but she's like, and she's like, is it worth it? And I'm like, to who? To them? To me?
To everyone.
Yeah.
Are we going to have another virtue signaling segment where we're like, oh, this sport makes me feel so conflicted?
No.
You're going to be glued at 9:30.
I was glued. No morally conflicted. There's just a couple of funny things happen with my wife that aren't funny because we're just used to the casual violence of half of the strongest men in the world in a league playing together. They've gotten through half a season and all of the teams are broken. It's like, yeah, it's hard to do what they're doing because if a 350-pound man just steps on your foot, most of us wouldn't work for a week.
Tyrod Taylor, man, that guy's poor chest. I mean,
do you think he says no to the shot this time?
Oh, yeah. He'll never take a shot
You
again.
are not taking that needle anywhere near my ribs.